Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So today I wanted to do this quick video really pointing out the notion of not falling for the facade when it comes to these religious organizations. Without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and just jump right in. Now what I mean by not falling for the facade, a lot of instances we may see these preachers or people of other various religious organizations that seem to have this facade, this image where they are surrounded by nothing but glitz and glamour and expensive vehicles and all of this stuff, and it looks amazing. But we see that there's other religious leaders who may not have that, but they yet have a heart of gold. Has anyone ever stopped to wonder why that might be? I remember growing up in my old home church. I remember one Easter Sunday, I'll never forget. I was always one that was just very inquisitive, that always asked a lot of questions, right? So I remember one Sunday, like my family and I, we were coming to church. We pulled up in the car. It was pretty packed, actually, in terms of the car. And then I remember seeing one of the ministers pull up with his family. It was a very nice looking car. You could tell there was a lot of money that went into it. And as a child seeing this, I remember I had looked over and asked my mom, Mom, why is it that they have such a nice car and we don't? I'm just paraphrasing here, but that was the question I remember asking her. Now, for years, I've always have wondered that. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, why was that always the case? Majority of the congregation had, older model cars. But when it came to that particular family or the surrounding families, depending on what their role was on the board of the church, they had the newer, nicer looking vehicles. I knew early on, even at such a young age, something wasn't adding up. Or as the young kids say nowadays, the math was not mathing. Some people would say, oh, it's because, they are called to do this work for God. And, when it comes down to the congregation, it's just like whatever happens, just happens. I think the part for me why it really hit home was because I knew my mom being such a firm believer in God, in Christ, and doing all that she could as a parent, being a single parent at that, to witness that and to know that you see this person, you know how they are, and yet this is what we're given. And she paid her tithes religiously, pun intended. That 10%, if I remember correctly. And she made sure that we learned early on how to do it too. Put the tithes into the envelope and put it in the tray just so it could be sent on its way. But I say all this to say, just inquiring minds want to know, what's wrong with this picture? That's when I began to do my own little digging as time progressed onward, and I realized that it's a lot deeper than what is being shown to us. So again, don't fall for the facade. A lot of these preachers are doing a little bit more and partaking in a little bit more than what they are telling us. And that's the reality. It's a tough pill to swallow, but when you accept reality for what it is, being just that, reality, you can just learn to let go and accept it for it being just that. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone has to, in some way, form, or fashion, make an income. That's the truth. And I, by no means, judge anyone in doing so. We all have to, in some form or another, to self-sustain in this earth plane, right? But when it comes to being pious, when it comes to being transparent with those around you, such as your congregation. When it comes to doing a little more extra to make sure that they are taken care of as well. Going beyond just giving them a food basket with food that's expired in it, right? When we take that extra step and do other things that can actually help families in need, such as those who are single parent families, as an example, I think that is very telling within itself. And I truly pray for the day that we have more leaders of God who are willing to step up to the plate and do that. Even some of these leaders of God who are running these mega churches. And then people begin to wonder why is there such a huge declination in terms of the church population in some of these establishments? There's a reason for it, because people are starting to wake up. Wake up in the sense where we understand that there's a lot more to what meets the eye, what we've been conditioned to believe over the years. Just accepting it for what it is. And doing so with love. Do you understand that? Doing so with love. I speak about the other institutions, but I speak directly more so in line with the church setting as far as the Christian institution, knowing that that's my main base of where I came from. So by no means, when I have these conversations with you guys, I do not have a chip on my shoulder. I do not feel disgruntled towards the Christian church setting. It's just more so wanting to see better when it comes to these establishments. I mean, just imagine the plethora of people that would start to swarm in to your establishment again if you truly were to be more transparent and more real about all that is tied to this, and to do more, donate more. Again, not just giving away baskets of expired or close to expired food items or anything of that nature. Just do more, especially with those who are truly in need. We need more people like that. And I think the part that is very saddening, that's very telling, especially when you think about people who are the leaders of these big churches, to see that they're doing just this, just enough, right? But they know within their heart of hearts that they can do more. That's the unfortunate part right there. And just to know that God sees it too. And the reality of it all is that not only does God see it, but some of us who are more spiritually inclined, we see it too. Hence is the reason why most of us are not gravitating towards that space much longer. It's for that reason. And for a lot of us, we truly understand that when it comes to, the belief in God and the church, that belief part is within us, it's not within the building. We understand that now too. I would be lying if I said that, I miss going to the church building on Sundays, or I miss partaking in various groups and singing in the choir. I miss those days, I do. But as I mentioned in the previous video, with what I've gained in terms of my knowledge now and what's really going on and who I am as a being here, I wouldn't trade it for the world. What are you guys' thoughts about this, about not falling for the facade when it comes to these religious leaders? Like, do you feel that, they need to be more transparent when it comes to their onlookers, the congregation overall, when it comes to their dealings? Do you feel that they should actually do more when it comes to those who are truly in need? Because again, it doesn't make sense to complain about there being a decline when it comes to the congregation numbers if you're not trying to do anything to change all that. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts about it. Definitely don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, or continue to message me on the other platforms as you have been. Again, emails are just as welcome. I love seeing the emails and the images you guys send over of your family and your pets. Keep that going. But yeah, in the meantime, as always, I'm definitely sending you guys with love and light, and I'll see you in the next video.